Malachi.
Oh, it's November 3rd.
Did I say November 3rd?
It's November 3rd.
Oh, did I?
It's November 3rd.
That's okay. 1 year ago today, on November 3rd, Malachi doused his body in gasoline, caught himself on fire alongside a major Chicago freeway. That event went largely unreported, not only in the Chicago media, but also mainstream media. Tonight, we are going to read Malachi's final statement that he wrote prior to his death. One of our chapter members got in touch with Malachi's sister, and they are doing a similar event in Chicago tonight as we are doing here to remember Malachi. If you go to the website www.iheardyouMalachi.org, it tells the whole story about Malachi. It has news clips from the various papers and statements by his family. Some may say this was an extreme act. Maybe not. You know, the Buddhist monks during the Vietnam War did the same thing to make a point, to make a dramatic point against the war. Today in Iraq, there is no enemy in Iraq. I say again, there is no enemy in Iraq. The Iraqi freedom fighters, the indigenous people of Iraq, and the United States soldiers do have a common enemy. That common enemy sits at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And the occupier, the illegal occupier of that address, is intent on a new world order in waging an imperialist agenda on people of color in the Middle East. Whether it's Iraq or Palestine or the Jena 6 or Katrina, it is all the same. It is imperialist aggression against people of color. We just decided to be here.
Oh, okay.
PC? Somebody's got to read the statement.
Watch out for Homeland Security. Yeah.
You want me to hold that?
My actions should be self-explanatory, and since in our self-obsessed culture, words seldom match the deed, writing a mission statement would seem questionable. So judge me by my actions. Maybe some will be scared enough to wake from their walking dream state. Am I therefore a martyr or terrorist? I would prefer to be thought of as a spiritual warrior. Our so-called leaders are the real terrorists in the world today, responsible for more deaths than Osama bin Laden. I have had a wonderful life, both full and full of wonder. I have experienced love and the joy and heartache of raising a child. I have jumped out of an airplane and escaped a burning building. I have spent the night in jail and dropped acid during the 60s. I have been privileged to have met many supremely talented musicians and writers, most of whom were extremely generous and gracious. Even during the hard times, I felt charmed. Even the difficult lessons have been like blessed gifts. When I hear about our young men and women who are sent off to war in the name of God and country, and who give up their lives for no rational cause at all, my heart is crushed. What has happened to my country? We have become worse than the imagined enemy, killing civilians, calling it collateral damage, torturing and trampling human rights inside and outside our own borders, violating our own Constitution whenever it seems convenient, lying and stealing right and left, more concerned with sports on television and ringtones on cell phones than the future of the world. Half the population is taking medication because they cannot face the daily stress of living in the richest nation in the world. I too love God and country and feel called upon to serve. I can only hope my sacrifice is worth more than those brave lives thrown away when we attacked an Arab nation under the deception of weapons of mass destruction. Our interference completely destroyed that country and destabilized the entire region. Everyone who pays taxes has blood on their hands. I have had one previous opportunity to serve my country in a meaningful way. At 8:05 one morning in 2002, I passed Donald Rumsfeld on Delaware Avenue, and I was acutely aware that slashing his throat would spare the lives of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of innocent people. I had a knife clenched in my hand, and there were no bodyguards visible. To my deep shame, I hesitated, and the moment was past. The violent turmoil initiated by the United States military invasion of Iraq will beget future centuries of slaughter if the human race lasts that long. First, we spit on the United Nations, then we expect them to clean up our mess. Our elected representatives are supposed to find diplomatic and benevolent solutions to those situations. Anyone can lash out and retaliate. That is not leadership or vision. Where is the wisdom and honor of the people we delegate our trust to? To the rest of the world, we are cowards, demanding Iraq to disarm, and after they comply, we attack with remote control, high-tech video game weapons, and then lie about our reasons for invading. We, the people, bear complete responsibility for all that will follow, and it won't be pretty. It is strange that most, if not all, of this destruction is instigated by people who claim to believe in God or Allah. Many sane people turn away from religion, faced with the insanity of the true believers. There is a lot of confusion. Many people think that God is like Santa Claus, rewarding good little girls with presents and punishing bad little boys with lumps of coal. Actually, God functions more like the Easter Bunny, hiding surprises in plain sight. God does not choose the lottery numbers.